All right, hello again, everyone. So, got another maintenance video I want to do with you here. So, I'm going to go over with you how to set up your system to run automated SEM alignments, okay? And this is real quick to do. Let me just change the display here. Again, your display won't normally look like this. It just looks like this because of the screen capture here. Okay, so anyways, here's the nav cam. Oops. Okay, this is the nav cam picture here. Actually, this is going to be a little better here. Okay. Uh, is that better? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay, so anyways, I've got two samples on the multi-purpose holder. So this is a chunk of silicon with a coating of chromium on it, which we're not going to use for this alignment. I'm going to use this actually for the automated PFIB alignment, but this is a multi-sample alignment, multi-specimen alignment sample. And what it has right here, these are tin spheres. And so this is what you want to use for doing your automated SEM column alignments. So I'm going to double left click on that. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this up to approximately 4 millimeters. Let me change this. It's easier to see the images this way. I mean, I'll switch it back because when we need to see the text, because then it's easier to see that. All right, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn on my SEM. I don't need to turn on the FIB column, so I won't right now. Okay, go ahead and get a good focus so we can see. We got lots of these spheres here. Okay, we can go ahead and we need to bring this to eccentric. So we're pretty close. So you notice I hit the UFO button, and then I'm going to move to 4, and we're going to set, whoops, what's going on? That was way off. Hold on a second. Was that off that much? No, we have that there. That's fine. So why is it off that much? Okay, well, we'll align it. Okay, that looks a little better. So we're at mechanical eccentric. But yet this is reading a little bit off from 4, so that may indicate a another thing that needs to be off. So there's an alignment for like what's called the high currents, so that may need to be adjusted here, but we can proceed anyway. I'm just curious though, if we put this down at like 100 picoamps, yeah, so you see. Okay, yeah, so at the lower currents, it is reading close to what it should. So it tells me that's I think it's called a high current calibration, which we're not going to do today. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. We can just leave this alone. But yeah, so this is close. So here, we'll go ahead and set eccentric one more time here. And eccentric is eccentric. Doesn't matter what current you're at. Okay, so we're basically all right there. Back to 0. Okay, so now we're at mechanical eccentric. We're at 0 degrees tilt. And I'm going to switch this to make it easier to see the text. Okay, then we're going to come over here to alignment panel, click electron beam, and you're going to click supervisor alignments. Okay, and then you want all these checked. And then I also like to do this switch E-beam off at the end as well, because otherwise it leaves the beam on, right? And there's no reason for that. Then you click automatic, and then you click run selection. Okay, and we'll just watch this work here just initially. So on this column, these are fairly extensive in terms of the alignments. I think it takes about 2.5 hours to run through the whole list. I think they actually recommend to do this like every week. I don't do that. I mean, it just, because of the traffic on the tool, I think I try to do this every month or so. But this hasn't been done in about a month and a half, so this is, a good time to do this. So. All right, so let's see if we can get it to give us, okay, now it's gonna, bring up the windows here. So these are all the alignments it's going through. It's going through N mode, which is unmonochromated mode, source, tilt, and shift right now. So we'll watch how it does this once. So it finds the spot and then it centers it with the tilt. Then it says, ooh, it's reliable, right? Good measurement. Then it goes back to image mode and now it's adjusting the shift. So again, this is entirely automated. It's actually looking at the image movement as it's adjusting the final lens, and then it's adjusting the gun shift accordingly to minimize the movement. So it's pretty neat that this can be done automated. And before that, this all had to be done, manually, one step at a time. If for some reason, and this will usually happen to a small number of these alignments, because it's going to go through hundreds of these, right? So there will be a small handful. I don't know. Usually it's like, I want to say it might be around like a dozen or so of these that'll be unreliable, or there'll be a problem with it, or it'll say like no convergence. What you have to do then is you have to go through and run them manually. And actually, I will show you how to do that once this is done. So we'll go through actually finishing up the alignments and doing the manual adjustment to the ones that are not, quote, reliable. Okay. All right. So continuing on here. So as promised, the automated alignments finished up. And as I indicated, there were a few of them that didn't work properly, apparently, or there were issues with. So we're going to do these manually, okay? So what you do here, select only alignments and steps with non-reliable results, and then you click Run Selection. And you want to make sure you have this unchecked because obviously the automatic version didn't work. So let me switch the view here for the zoom. Okay, so we got to do unfiltered source tilt and shift. How many of them I don't know just yet. Stage automatically. All right, so we're going to go through here. So whichever ones are checked, we're going to do again. So, okay. So basically, it looks like we just have to do one here at 350 volts. Okay. So just click Start Alignment. Okay. So here, so I'm adjusting my contrast and brightness to find the spot. Then we're centering it, and then I'm getting out of crossover mode. Okay. All right, and then now we have to align the shift. So we turn on lens modulator, and we want to minimize the shift. Switch this to fine, so right click. What I did was right click and switch to fine. Okay, that looks pretty good. You can see there's rotation around the side, which is fine. So out of curiosity here, we can have it do auto shift and see what it comes up with that way. Okay. Yeah, basically the same result. So, all right, let's go back to crossover just to check again. And it looks fine. Okay, so this step is done. And we're going to go to next. And then save new results and finish. And I think we just have to click that once. Okay, so now it's going to go to the next. Okay, so there's a non-reliable result in U mode. So we'll go ahead and do that now. U mode is obviously that's the monochromated mode. Okay, start alignment. So we'll see. Again, U mode is 5 kilovolts and less and 100 picoamps and less of current. So let's see. So it's saying it had an issue here. All right, so, okay, there's the crossover spot right there. It's very faint. And having trouble seeing anything here. Okay, so that's off by quite a bit. Kind of minimizing the movement here. Although we should be seeing a little more current than this, so a little concerned about that, but just do this manually, that's fine. Right, next. Okay, there's the spot. Okay, so that's off. Okay, that looks reasonable. Right, next. All right, save new results and finish. Okay, and then lens alignment and stigmator in UHR mode. Okay. Okay, start alignment. Okay, so this is the one. Okay. All right, so our instructions here optimize by focusing and stigmating. It already looks pretty good here. Minimize image movement by adjusting lens alignments. We'll turn on the modulator. Adjust the amplitude here. I mean, it's very close here. Click fine. Yeah, so you can see that looks pretty good. All right, next. Okay, now we have to do this at a shorter working. So you have to do this alignment at it's working distance dependent, because as you change your working distance, you're changing your focal length, and that's going to change how you have to stigmate. So, okay, that looks pretty good. And the stigmator also looks reasonable. Now it looks like it's close to the end of the range, which is a little concerning. See if we put this back to 0. Now it's at 0. See, and then it's bottomed out here. So, whoops, went off the monitor. And if we go back and forth with the focus, let me turn on the modulator again. Move over here. So this lens alignment has to be very precise here, because if that's not done well, then your stigmation will also not work properly. Oops. Sorry, I'm going off the screen. I think you can use, yeah, you can use the mouse, or not the mouse, your MUI knobs with this also. And it's still adjusting the crosshairs. We go back and forth with the focus. Okay. Yeah, it's close enough here. We're a little bit close to the limit, but I think we're still okay here. So, all right, click next. And 5 kV. And this is saying it's out of range. We can tell it to run auto here. Let's see what it's doing if we run it automatically. Yeah, so it's a little bit close to the limit here. Yeah, see that is giving us red. Oops. Okay, that looks reasonable here. Okay, next. Save new results and finish. Okay, so that's everything. All right, so then you just click, you only had a few to do, and then you just click finish. And now you're done with your supervisor SEM alignments.